There's so many people in the Ashland backfield that they're lining up with. Now they spread it out. They show pass. Let's see what they do. Second and short.
Yeah, it's pitched to Merlone, cuts it inside, has the first down, and then some as he breaks loose. And he's going to beat one guy. He won't quite do it. But Merlone takes it down to the 20-yard line. 25-yard pickup. Jamie Merlone.
Good blocking by the Clockers up front.
Hello and welcome to the Plateau at Ashland High School's William Kunis Field. I'm Rob Silver. I'm one of the many voices you hear on WACA Sports. But before all of us, there was this man to my right. You may not know him by looking at him, but if you've listened to any of WACA's coverage of Ashland sports over the last 35 plus years, you definitely recognize the voice of the man, Robert Bob Thacker. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for having me.
Glad to be here. And thanks for sitting down with us. We just kind of want to recognize what you've done with over 35 years of volunteer efforts to grow Ashland's coverage, WACA sports. Long history. How'd you get started?
Well, I grew up in Dedham, Massachusetts. The Clockers played Dedham last night right here at Kunis Field, and I grew up in Dedham. And I had a grammar school principal who was a famous Dedham High School athlete. And he also was a Boston College Hall of Famer, just like Bill Kunis was, and he was an educator just like Bill Kunis. And he instilled in us this love for high school athletics. I mean, it was a tremendous atmosphere you can imagine, just like a day like today with the fall colors and the cheerleaders and the band and the stands filled. It was a tremendous thing to see, and that's when I fell in love with high school sports. And then my neighbor down the street, Paul Burke, he asked me if I would like to help him broadcast the Ashland High School football games on Cable 8, as we used to call it. And I was thrilled. I'd been taking my kids, when they were 4 or 5 years old, I was taking my kids to usually just the Thanksgiving game, But I was thrilled to have the opportunity. Paul did the play-by-play, and I was what they used to call the color man. And that's how we started. We did the home games on Friday nights. Nighttime football was, fairly new. It started pretty much in the late 60s. Nighttime Friday night football started in Massachusetts, at least in the late 60s. And it was every Friday night was a great night for a football game, and we were thrilled to bring the game. And in those days, of course, the idea was you'd record the game, it'd be edited in a fashion, and it'd be recorded on a video cassette tape, and the tape would go into a big machine at the station, at the studio, and it would be broadcast on our channels, Cable 8. I think we had 8, 10, and 11 or something in those days. Those were our channels, and everyone had a VHS recorder at home, and you could watch your son's football game and tape it and own it forever. Once I saw how much people loved the football games on television, I started to think, well, what about the other sports? What if your kid doesn't play football? What if your kid doesn't play football?
We've talked about that. Yeah. Football gets so much of the coverage, but you were instrumental in expanding that to the other sports out there, and just rattle off some of the sports that you've covered.
And I never let the fact that I didn't understand a sport stop me from
Right. I know. I've done football with you, and you don't understand that one. But no.
My goal was it would be at least one videotape of every sport that the team could have and the players could have and the players' parents could have forever. So I tried to do, field hockey, incomprehensible to me. Mm-hmm. We tape it anyway.
We mentioned we have Bob Taroshin covering that for us now.
Tape it. And whenever the whistle blew, I only had one thing to say. there's a whistle. It's going to be Ashland ball. It's going to be Medfield ball, whatever. That was my only, no explanation of the penalty because I couldn't understand what the penalty could be.
Sure. Yeah. Soccer, but baseball.
Soccer. We had championship teams. We played at BU in the championship game. Tremendous. We had tremendous teams. We had good luck in all. Swimming at the Keefe Tech pool. Fantastic on television. The pool is tremendous on television. I'd get a woman whose daughter was on the team. She knew everything about swimming. She'd sit with me.
Yeah.
I'd just let her go. She'd tell the whole story. And meanwhile...
You didn't do any in-pool interviews, did you?
No,
just jump in there?
No, and I didn't wear a bathing suit either, right. but I didn't get splashed. Or not. And you got to broadcast the games. People want to see them.
Well, you're going to be broadcasting with me next Friday. This is Saturday, the 20th, but what's say the 19th? 19th, yeah. But Holliston.
The Holliston game.
Holliston, Ashland, Friday, October 25th, 6 p.m. You're going to do the first half with me. You're going to make
it. Forward to that.
And
I'm looking forward.
Kind of going to be your swan song, your farewell from the booth, but you're always welcome back. Well, Bob, it's been a pleasure. And looking forward to next Friday night. And
you're the best
like I said, you're welcome back anytime for any broadcast. We'll bump anybody for you.
You're the best thing that has happened to this station, the way you've come on and carried the torch. It's been great. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And just want to say good night and go Clockers.